Hello, Goddess, and welcome to this month's New Year, all New Year, Divine Masculine Energy check-in and empowerment message, which, of course, around here at Empowerment Experiences, we are definitely looking at that inner masculine. This journey is about reclaiming our power and coming back home to the self, creating that union and that balance within ourselves, the inner masculine and inner feminine, and that ultimately directly impacts all of our relationships outside of ourselves, whether it is with our twin flame, and I'm using air quotes because around here we definitely have come to the other side of things, into that awareness space of a twin flame journey really being a self-love empowerment journey, and that a twin flame is just a hyper-focused label that we have been taught in order to amplify an ego attachment to a particular person. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, what a way to start the year off, Rochelle. Yes, welcome. My name is Rochelle, and here at Empowerment Experiences, we are looking for and finding our power all along this, which is each our own self-love empowerment journey. And as I've said, a twin flame journey is a self-love empowerment journey. I mean, think about it. It's taught that your twin flame is your exact blueprint, your exact mirror. Then ultimately, it's about you and what your healing is and what you need to shift and what you've got to step into in order to fully rise and thrive and step into your power on your journey. And that's what we're doing for this new year. We are just in such a space of unknown excitement, like excitement for the unknown. That's where we are. And it's realizing that it's okay to pivot. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to move forward with a whole new perspective on things, because that means you're growing. That means things are changing because you are changing. And this means that your world ultimately is going to change if it's not already. And this is also when you're really, truly going to notice that what you see the world to be, how you perceive the world, that's how the world is. Right? I know right now there's a whole lot of perceiving of the world being, in this whole upheaval and chaos and madness. And, it's the insane asylum of the universe. We are here, we're in it, and we're here to, again, find our power while we're in it. So let the outside world do what it's going to do, and you, again, continue to focus within you and creating what kind of experience you want to be having, because that's what you're bringing out into the world. And especially in this inner masculine space of having to feel closed off and, hyper focused on just work, and control, because that's what that comes down to, is control. We're coming into this new year with a whole new perspective on things, having experienced so much last year that brought us to this space of realizing that it can't be that way. That we do have to begin to honor our inner feminine, that we do need to begin to actually empower our inner masculine into a more vulnerable and divine state of being, rather than being from that wounded space, just as our wounded feminine would function. So we have to be the ones to focus within ourselves and make the shifts accordingly, change what stories we have written, what beliefs we're telling about ourselves and our journeys, our inner masculine, in order for our outer masculine perception to change, our perspective of whatever counterpart you may have in this world. I'm hearing Dr. Wayne Dyer right now. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And this is what we're coming into this new year energy, in this space of changing the way we've looked at things. So now guess what? This is the year that things are really, truly going to change, Goddess. really truly change because of the changes that you have been making. Ooh, and so with that, let's dive in and see what with this new year, this new slate, as we mentioned in the Divine Feminine reading, what are we focusing on as we right into this new year? Ooh, we're really going through some shuffles here. Let's see. You know, it has been a minute since I have actually just flipped cards over. Oh, because I haven't needed to. It's about focusing on where your power is. Where is your power? And that's the whole premise of the intro to this video, is about focusing where your power is, which is within you. You don't have power over your outside world, save for the power you have over your inside world, meaning how you perceive the world, the stories you tell, what you bring to the experience. That's where your power is. That's how you're creating the world around you. That's where your power is, goddess. It's inside, not outside. You see, we've been conditioned so much to give our power away to outside of ourselves, to think that others actually have power over us, that others emotionally, mentally, physically have power, spiritually have power over us. But they only can have power over us if we let them. Just as the same as us attempting or trying, try is the escape hatch for the ego, trying to control someone else. Again, you can only influence someone else by your own energy, your own behavior, what you bring to the experience. That's where your power is. And the masculine within you is finally learning this. You, goddess, are finally learning this. So you're not so rigid as you come into this new year. That inner masculine isn't so rigid. And so you're going to find that the masculines that begin to show themselves in your world, and be they relationships that are already in your world or even new interactions that may be coming in, you're going to see this mirrored in them as it is in you. And so with that, oh, well, I was about ready to ask, what are we to do? We continue along this transmutation traveling, shall we say? Because all of this work that has been being done within yourself, goddess, within you, this inner masculine work as a result of being on this twin flame journey and learning all of these things outside of you and inside of you, and the connection and the separation and all of these things, to come back around and realize, oh my gosh, this is for me to heal what I'm here to heal, to impact the world the way I'm here to impact, and knowing that as long as I'm healing, I am assisting the collective with their healing. I am transmuting trauma and pain and wounds and sabotage, transmuting them into love and joy and compassion and dreams coming true. That's what you're here to do. That's what you're here to do. To keep focusing on what you are creating, which again, where your power is. Just confirmation card. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. Hocus, pocus, focus. Write that down, goddess. Hocus, pocus, focus. I heard that several years ago on an about Esther Hicks, an Abraham Hicks story that Abraham was sharing about Esther's experience. And she had overheard a mom say this to her children while at an airport. Hocus, pocus, focus. I love that story. So say this to yourself, Goddess. This is a wonderful, wonderful little, and totally wizardy kind of energy. Hocus pocus focus. Think of the wizard in the woods. And that, look, as someone who grew up in and by woods, you got to focus on where you're stepping, where you're going, you have to be attentive and aware of your surroundings. You have to be aware of what you're focusing on. Or you might step on something that's not so pleasant. Or hit your head on something, something sticking out from somewhere. So hocus pocus focus. What are you giving your attention to? What are you focusing on? Where are you headed toward? Where do you want to go? What are you creating? You have an entirely clean slate for this year, Goddess. Write down some goals, desires, write them out and actually let yourself see them on paper. Don't just keep them up in your head as wishful thinking, because that's all it is. It's thinking. And it would most likely stay wishful because you're not actually doing any of putting it out into the universe in terms of taking that action, writing it out, scripting it out, letting the universe know that, yes, I do want this. And by writing it out, that allows for more things to flow through. Again, what's within you? That's where your power is, focusing within you. And again, as I mentioned in the Divine Feminine reading for this month, the selfish, the healthy selfish versus unhealthy selfish. You've got to be healthy selfish. You've got to be healthy selfish about what your energy is, what you're focusing on, what you're creating. You've got to be healthy selfish about what you are bringing to this world. So you've got to do for you what you need to do to make sure that you are bringing to this world what you want to be bringing to this world. That's a masculine energy that's empowered. That's a feminine energy that's empowered, leading by example. So hocus pocus focus, Goddess. Hocus, pocus focus. Well, more change, more change, more change. Change is inevitable. That is what evolution is. These finite, these micro changes that happen, that become an entire evolutionary process. This is what you're here to do. You are here to evolve, which ultimately you are here to change. It doesn't mean you are less than or not enough or any of that, BS. It simply means that you're learning, growing, expanding, and ascending on this journey. So you've got to be different. You're different than you were when you were born. Not to state the obvious, but to state the obvious, right? You are here to change. So find your brave, find your brave, and recognize the truth as it is before you. That change is inevitable, and you might as well enjoy the ride while you're here. And even more so, hocus pocus focus on where your power is, on what you are changing into, what you are becoming, what you're creating, what your reality is, what you have the power of transmutation to change something the way it is into something else, particularly and especially within you. And when you do, your outside world changes too. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so with that, let us ask, where is our power of surrender for the masculine energies as we move into this new year and bringing balance within ourselves and stepping more and more into our power. Ooh, those two just jump ship. More and more into our power and more into what we are here to become. So, oh wow. Of course, surrender negative thinking. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. The outside world is your mirror to your inside world, whether it's a twin flame, a soulmate, even a karmic, because karmics show you traumas and wounds and sabotaging patterns and behaviors within you. So it's still your mirror. I'm here to rock the boat because you've got to have a more stable mode of transportation through this self-love empowerment journey, goddess. Because that boat's got a hole in it. So I'm rocking it. Right? I got past the negative thinking of everybody telling me that, oh my gosh, but it's your twin flame. You can't, da 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 da. It's the one and only, blah, 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 blah. No. And as for false twin flames, all of it, whatever label the ego can come up with to justify the attachment, it's going to. It's going to. But it comes back to looking for, seeing where your power is in all of it. And it all comes down to letting go of the negative thinking that you're not good enough, that you, any of these reasons. Like, I can't even, like, there's so much right now vying to get out of my mouth that I can't even begin to list. All the thoughts that you think against yourself, these are the things that are blocking these. So your power is in shifting this, transmuting this, and shifting your focus to this. Don't focus on negative thinking. Don't focus on why it might not work out, or why you're not good enough, or why it wouldn't work, what. Like, again, there's such a space right there about, there's a stuckness. There's a stuckness to that. The whole twin flame trap. And I feel that for so many goddesses out there who are still in the spin cycle of it, getting beat up and giving power away. I was there. I went through it, and now on the other side of it, it's mind-boggling. But that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to boggle the mind so that it shakes you up, it stirs you up, it forces you to see facets of yourself that you wouldn't normally have looked at or recognized within yourself were it not for this dynamic, this concept of twin flames. And it really, really amplifies in that the need for control, thinking you can control someone outside of you. But again, you can only influence your outside world by what you are creating on your inside world. So this is the reason why surrender negative thinking, get out of your own way, pivot your focus, change things, shift over to focusing on miracles so that you let miracles in. This is where your power lies. Whatever you desire to be experiencing within your connection, and I say just connection, whether it's soulmate connection, what you call a twin flame connection with someone, because again, been there, done that. I call them now a twin flame catalyst because it's a catalyzing concept that brought me and continues to on this journey, bring me to a deeper and deeper connection with myself, a deeper and deeper understanding of who I am and how I operate and how I engage with the world and how my relationships operate. All of these things it has gifted me. And so it's not looking at, again, the twin flame dynamic concept. The concept itself is not a bad thing. That's why we're not looking at this from a negative perspective. We're moving beyond that and accepting it for what it is and the purpose that it serves. So now we're actually opening ourselves up into a space of flow, because acceptance is a space of flow. And so we're focusing through a different lens, a different perspective. That's what's going to allow for miracles to flow in now. It's because of where you're looking and how you're looking. So with that, let's check our angel numbers for this new year, January. What? Drum roll. Number 20. Angel number 20 speaks of balance, harmony, teamwork, relationships. Exactly what we're referencing today with regards to the feminine and masculine relationship, your inner relationship, your outer relationships with all other masculines, feminines, how that works. That's hugely what our focus is, because again, your power isn't in controlling someone outside of you. Your power is in controlling inside of you so that you have control over how you act, how you speak, how you treat them, how you respond, how you show up, how you feel. So important to pay attention to that and recognize for yourself that's where your power is. That's where your power is. And of course, again, how you respond to something they may say. Don't give your power away and let what they say affect your mood and attitude. Number 20 speaks of adaptability. You've got to be adaptable. And as we are coming into this new year, this is exactly what the basis of moving forward is about, is you have been being adaptable. You have been showing adaptability by changing and transmuting and adjusting, right? Change, transmutation right here. It requires adaptability. Maintain balance between your spirit and your body. Making sure, again, see, this is why I have my 2 Pegasus, right? And the heart. Can't quite see the heart. Maybe there in the, this was my very first malachite, a naturally occurring heart in there. But that's why I have my 2 Pegasus. The ego, the soul, the spirit, the body, the masculine, the feminine, and they come into merge together into that heart space, into that union, and it amplifies. It just becomes a beacon out into this world. And they both bring to this amplification, this Pegasus perspective, these multiple perspectives of the experience. And with that balance, that's what allows you to truly move forward and not get stuck. Number 20 tells you that you are allowed to have big dreams. Just make sure to believe in them. Again, surrender negative thinking. You have to get out of your way. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on that they won't work out, that it can't work? Oh, well, the legalities here, the bank here, the money here, the da-da-da-da, the products, whatever excuse. Pay attention to when you are immediately cutting yourself off from your own dreams. So remember, you are allowed to have big dreams. Just make sure to believe in them. Number 20 states your spiritual journey has officially begun, as it hadn't already started, right, Goddess? Did someone not get the memo here? But for real, as we move into this new year and you truly recognize through embodiment, by living in actuality, knowing where your power is and harnessing that power and utilizing it in the ways that you have come to utilize it here in this realm, in this world, you could really then say your spiritual journey has officially begun. Because now you get it. You get it in a way now like you have never gotten it before. You fucking get it. And that makes all the difference, doesn't it, Goddess? Doesn't it? Spirituality and intuition, number 20. spirituality, and intuition. Answers are on the way for all the clarifying questions you have in your life. Again, you just got to let it in. Surrender to miracles. You have to surrender to let it in. This is why, again, the masculine being so stiff and just blocking everything from flowing in because of the need for control, out of fear and wanting to provide safety and control everything. You've got to surrender. You've got to let the universe deliver to you what you're asking. So as long as you're surrendering, you are going to let all of these answers in for all of these clarifying questions. So I challenge you, even Goddess, to make a list. What questions do you have of the universe? What questions do you have that you would like to have answered? Probably more specifically about you, yourself, because that's where your power lies, right? Is over you. Right? But don't dismiss or disregard any other questions you may have. I would still write them down because you never know. The universe is eager to surprise and delight. So write them down. That's our journal prompt for this month is to write down the questions you have for the universe. You've got a clean slate. It's time to kiss some splaining. Like we got questions, you got answers. Okay? And then part 2 of the journal prompt, so not just one. Here we go, number 20. Contemplate and clarify your why. Why? Why are you here, Goddess? Why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you think what you think? Why do you believe what you believe? Why do you do what you do? Why do you go where you go? Why are you creating what you're creating? Whatever why about you that comes to the surface. Expand on it. Dive into it. Clarify it. And I promise you, you're going to feel infinitely more powerful than before you did. Because yet again, this is where you'll find your power. Another space and place where you'll find your power. You got so much power to gather today, Goddess. It's so exciting. So exciting. Isn't it? Isn't it? So that's just it. That's where your power is and is to be found and reclaimed. Wow, this is where we are for this brand new year. The Divine Masculine Energy Empowerment Message for bringing inner union within ourselves, for bringing the inner masculine and inner feminine into balance and creating peace in each our own lives and in turn the lives of all of those around us. Here to be the change in the world and knowing that change, true change, begins when I choose to truly change. And that's where we are, Goddess. With that, I am here for you. If you need some clarifying guidance and support for your own personal journey and where you are, you can definitely book a session with me. I am empowered.as.me. Again, that is empowered.as.me. And yeah, with that, super excited to chat, Goddess. Super excited for this incredible new year that we have before us and the miracles that are just waiting to flow in. Remember, the power to let those miracles flow in, Goddess. The power's in your hands. Because it has always, always been inside you. Namaste.